Right. Let's see what you have noticed about the South Africans.
There's quite a lot just from this game. Well, the first thing is, for South Africa, the first thing is their right back, well, and their left back, now he's injured, but those are the problem areas. And if you've got people like Olaina, Sanusi, Lukman, and Simon, people that would love to run into spaces, you would be happy that these are the laterals you'll be playing against. I say this because as much as South Africa want to be as compact as possible, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, you realize that they want their center backs and their left back and right back to be narrow. They are expecting that ideally left back, left midfielder, right midfielder will be coming back to support. They will be coming back to support. But because they don't support, they are trying to set up for a counter-attack because they are not supporting them. They're leaving it this way.
Okay.
It leaves them very exposed. And we've seen Nigeria against, was it Angola? Yes. They just had to move the ball back, and then Lukman just finished it. If they're not careful, Nigeria will take advantage of these, well, one-on-one or 2v1s, however you want to look at it, because left central midfielder has joined his left mid against the right back of South Africa, and all he has to do is, if he passes to him, he doesn't need to put the ball in the box because it's crowded. He needs to pull it out to the edge of the box, and we'll see that right now. They move the ball forward, and here, if you're not making this tackle, if you're not preventing the ball going out, if you're making sure the ball's coming into the box, you have a problem. You have to ensure it's not coming in if you don't have enough players back. Because you might have your four defenders, all right, but you only have 2 other players in there. And your defenders are already occupied with 1, 2, 3, 4. You're not quite sure where the ball's going to go. So there's a bit of uncertainty over here.
Mm-hmm.
So once the ball comes in, all they have to do is edge of the box. Ideally, this should have been a goal. It should have been either straight to this player, and he has the shot, or he goes for it himself. You shoot. You make an attempt on goal. Player blocks it, keeper blocks it. It's better than you trying to dribble your way through. And that was a clear indication that South Africa had set up, not to concede, but also to try and take this game as far as possible, because they know that the attacking quality of Cape Verde probably was more superior to theirs. The same ball we're talking about, it was down the line. But because Mr. Defender, he's been up and down the pitch, he has too much work to do, and he takes his eye off because of the inverted run. And this is a similar run to what Lukman or Simon will be making. They always run down here. They make it very difficult for the center back and the lateral to decide who's picking him, because they have other players coming in. Right now, defender is more concerned about this player, so he can't go, center back can't go. And once he's through, again, he should be finishing this, because now you're through on goal. Angola have taught you that you can score from this angle. All you need to do is finish the move. Then there's...
Clearly that's not as easy.
Well, it's not easy, but the talent, you're playing AFCON, you have the talent. You have the talent. Here, he should be... We're talking about this earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
As the ball's coming, again, from wide areas, you can tell that South Africa need to be wary, because Nigeria have people that can put quality balls from their half or closer to their center half, as well as when they are actually by the byline. So you have to prevent those balls from coming in. And we've seen that once the ball comes in, South Africa don't deal with them. They don't deal with them. They're not first to the first ball. They're not first to the second ball. And that allows Cape Verde another chance. Ideally, if he went with a bicycle kick mentality, he would be finishing it because then he's off the ground, he's at a proper height to hit the ball properly. And that was probably some of the problems with South Africa that Nigeria could exploit if they take it serious. The same ball has been played over and over again, which is a ball down the channel. And all he had to do was finish it. It's coming, and all he had to do was ensure that he's got enough time. Some people believe that he should lob it or go across the keeper. But in this situation...
that would be difficult. The ball is coming across you.
Across your body, and he's dominantly a
right foot, and he's...
Just tap it.
So what?
Just tap it.
You should tap it.
No, that would be tough.
Or take an extra touch.
I
think an extra touch allows the defender the chance because you bring it down. The ball is coming across.
Yeah. So
now, if you are trying to kill that ball, or take an extra, because one touch. Look at Ronwen Williams' starting position.
He's making himself as big as possible.
The young guy was going for a bit more power in the game compared to any of the techniques that you know. If he had been patient a bit, then you can have a good grasp of the ball. Maybe this one in this situation is quite different because the ball was in motion.
I get it. My verdict, I think fantastic goalkeeping from Williams.
Yeah, Williams read it, and he knew he's going same place I'm coming from. If he goes across me, there's a high chance he's missing. If he's lobbing me, fine. Fair to him, he'll score. But then if he's going for power, and I think he had seen that he's been going for power. So he was always going to save that, and it was a brilliant save.
It's a fantastic save.
He keeps showing why he's probably the best keeper at this AFCON.
Fantastic save, because that ball goes in, it's game over.
Yeah, it's
done.
Yeah.
Extra time.
And you could tell the celebration as he turns, looks at the post, he realizes the ball is not, he picks it up, he's jumping up and down.
And the awareness, as well as awareness to just get up. You know, you made a save. Sometimes you're slow to get up to your feet, and opponent gets the second ball, finishes it. But he was quick to his feet, and he got hold of the ball, and that just meant that the attack was ended.
Interesting. So, I mean, from what you've highlighted, and Yampov, maybe you can come in here. South Africa do have a problem defensively. They are not as organized as Nigeria, and they can be exploited wide, you know, because they set up to play on the break. So people like Percy Tau and Themba Zwane are not coming back, hoping that the opposition loses the ball and the ball comes back to them. That's interesting.
I think they're defending with 5, but attacking with 5. Quite different from what Cape Verde were doing, attacking with 6, defending with 4, or Nigeria are doing with attacking with 4.
Yeah, and then you defend with almost 6
players. So different variations. But I think he has approached the games dependent on the kind of play that the opponents have.
I see.
Because I've seen him attacking with just 3 players before in games where it was quite difficult for him. But against Cape Verde, I think he opened it up a bit because he felt, well, I'll get opportunities, so let me get the chances to score. And the positions in which Percy Tau has picked in this tournament is quite different from the Percy Tau we know. But I think he's also adapting to the team because of the manager's instructions. You typically want Percy Tau on the left side, where he cuts in and gets the opportunities for you. Look at what he's doing in El Ali, or maybe under the previous managers of South Africa. And it's quite different. The variations are different. And, well, credit to Hugo Broos anyway.
So, if you are Hugo Broos and you are thinking about this encounter, how can he ensure that his team stays in this for as long as possible?
He's got the players to mirror what Nigeria have done.
Okay.
That's one alternative. But then your instruction...
So you play same shape? Same
shape, and your instruction would be to keep as compact as possible, but don't allow your fullbacks to enjoy or join the attacking phase of the game. You want to keep it as compact as possible, and then frustrate the Nigerians. Once the Nigerians start taking shots from outside the box, you know it's working. They want to actually build up and get into your box and make it as easy as possible. A 2v1. Osimhen as a decoy, he passes it across for someone. From deep, they cross it. Somebody's getting at the end of it. You want to prevent those crosses. And I think the training or focus of everything for this particular game should be we should be first at every ball and second ball. Because once you allow Nigeria in and around your box to get on the ball, they have the quality and patience to actually find people, and that might be a concern. Another thing is, try and don't be so defensive. You have to make sure, if you're going with 3 attackers, make sure they're causing problems for Nigeria. You've got Makwena, who's actually quite technical. He's gifted technically.
Yeah.
Allow him to let the ball travel a bit. You've got Zwane, you've got Percy Tau. They can chase the ball. Put it into space. Trusticon is not the quickest. Calvin Bassey can chase, but his touch or his technical ability can be a bit dodgy, and you can take advantage of that. That's what they need to do. If they set up to just defend 90 minutes, they'll be found wanting.
Let's turn the story on its head. Nigeria, how can they be exploited? What should South Africa do to get some change out of Nigeria?
We showed that the channels are available. If you put it between right wing back and a right centre back, running down into the channel, someone from left wing or even from the middle, from deep, runs onto the ball, you've got a good opportunity to score. We've seen Angola do it. We saw the last opponents also do it. We saw Guinea-Bissau also do it. So those are some of the variations you can do. But then when you have possession, you have to build up to try and put a cross in. I say a cross because Trusticon might get to the ball, but Calvin Bassey and Ajayi too might get to the ball. So you target Calvin Bassey, or you target the left wing back. So you're crossing it across the field or across the box.
But do the South Africans have I've not seen them dominate aerially, and that Nigerian backline is huge.
You're not trying to score from it. You're trying to get the ball into the box, and then you cut it across. That is what they should do. They've shown that they could put crosses in, but obviously the opponents will always deal with them. But if you're putting it in from deep sometimes, and player running into it, Percy Tau, I've seen him use his head to score. I think you can rely on his experience because he can time his run. Runs onto the ball, he finishes the move. So from deep, they need to try balls over the top for their forwards to chase. Once they do that, they could cause some problems. And we've seen that Nigeria, if you can dribble and bring it to their box, and you bring it to the edge of their box, you have a chance to score. Onyeka, Iwobi, Yusuf, they all have their good traits, but sometimes alertness might be missing. So if you can put the ball on the edge of the box, have someone who's technically gifted, they'll finish the move.